Welcome back. Today we are looking at day 55, typing and type hinting. Using modern Python 3.12 syntax. If you have ever looked at a variable in Python and wondered, is this a string, a number, or a list, type hints are your answer. They let us specify data types explicitly to write cleaner, safer code. Let's start with basic variables. In Python, you write age int equals 25 or name str equals nallis. Notice that Python doesn't enforce these at runtime by default, but code editors and static analyzers use them to catch bugs instantly before you even run your program. Next, let's look at functions. When writing a function, adding type hints to inputs and outputs makes your code self-documenting. For example, greet, name, str-str. Here, def-str tells anyone reading the function that it will return a text string. Let's build a quick example together. Let's write a function that adds two numbers. Def add a, int, b, int, -wint, return a plus b. This is super easy to read and understand, even if you are completely new to programming. Python 3.12 introduced fantastic improvements making type hinting cleaner than ever. Historically, we had to import list or dict from the typing module. In Python 3.12, we can use built-in lowercase collections directly. For instance, instead of simply write from typing import list, you can now scores list int equals 90, 85, 88. Similarly, for dictionaries, you write user underscore data dict str equals role admin. It is clean, native, and standard Python. What happens if a variable can hold a value or b? Versions, we used none in older Python. Optional, str. In Python 3.12, we use the clean pipe operator, middle underscore name, str none equals none. This makes optional values intuitive and beginner-friendly. The pipe operator acts like an OR condition for types. If a function argument can accept either an integer or a string, you can write id underscore card int street. Let's look at a quick code snippet demonstrating this flexibility. Let's write a function, def process underscore id, user underscore id, int str dash none, print f processing id, user underscore id. This handles both integer IDs and alphanumeric string IDs cleanly without complicated boilerplate code. As your code grows, type definitions can get long. Python allows us to create type aliases. For example, vector equals list, float. Now, instead of writing list, float everywhere, you can just use vector as your type hint. Python 3.12 also introduced the dedicated type statement for clean aliases, like type point equals tuple, float. This modern syntax makes your intent crystal clear and keeps your script organized. You might ask, if Python doesn't crash when I break a type hint, why use them? Because they act as live documentation. When you open your code weeks later, type hints instantly tell you what data goes in and what comes out. Tools like mypy can scan your Python code and check your type hints automatically. If you pass a string where an integer was expected, mypy flags it as an error before your users ever see it in production. A quick beginner tip, don't overcomplicate your hints. Start by adding type hints to function signatures and key parameters. You don't need to annotate every single local variable inside a tiny function unless it adds clarity. That wraps up day 55. You've learned how modern Python 3.12 type hints, built-in generics like list, and the pipe operator make code readable and beginner-friendly. Practice writing typed functions in your next project, and I'll see you on day 56.
Thank you for watching. Like if you learned something, share with your circle, and subscribe for more.